Hello everyone, welcome to A Clear Perspective. I'm Serene Li. Today, we will talk about the Chinese Communist Party's 6th plenary session. Recently, many media have been reporting on the conclusion of the 6th plenary session and its official communique. The communique is more than 7,000 words. It summarizes the 100 years history of the party, and is full of praises and political slogans that have been repeated countless times. I will compile some core content and give you an analysis. First, the communique reviews how in the past 100 years, the Chinese Communist Party kept the so-called great, glorious, and correct. It also lists the party's so-called significant achievements and historical experience. The implicit meaning is that the history of the Chinese Communist Party has come to an end. Secondly, for 5 generations of party leaders, namely Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping, Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, and Xi Jinping, the communique brags a lot about each of them. It brags the most about Xi Jinping with more than 2,000 words. Mao Zedong comes the second with nearly 1,000 words, and Hu Jintao is the third with more than 600 words. But Deng Xiaoping gets 380 words, while Jiang Zemin only has 280 words. This shows a big difference in the evaluations of the 5 party leaders. Thirdly, the communique divides the history of the Chinese Communist Party into 4 stages. The founding period, the early stage of the People's Republic of China, the reform and opening up, and the new era. As for my understanding, the history division is actually a sign that Xi Jinping has put an end to Deng Xiaoping's reform and opening up policy. China will enter a new era under Xi Jinping, and China will be in a self-perpetuating system free from the influence of the United States and other Western countries. China is returning to authoritarianism like the Mao Zedong era. Finally, the communique looks ahead to the next 100 years, emphasizing that Xi Jinping is a key figure in carrying on the past. It also announces the 20th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party will be held in the second half of next year. The above is the main content of the 7,000-word communique. What does it tell us? The first is that Xi Jinping has achieved his goal. He has got the path to his 3rd term, or even to the lifetime presidency, and cleared all obstacles in the 20th National Congress for his 3rd term. The second conclusion is that Xi has to mention Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao in the communique, meaning that Xi's power is not so great that he cannot completely ignore the 2 party leaders in front of him. Xi has made certain concessions and compromises to both Jiang and Hu's factions. The third point is that Xi Jinping makes himself the same status as Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping in the wording of the communique. The fourth point is that this historical resolution is filled with affirmations and praises for every generation of party leaders. It ignores old man-made disasters and crimes committed by the Chinese Communist Party against China and its people. This is the most significant difference between this resolution and the last 2 historical resolutions. Xi Jinping did not make any cuts with the mistakes of the previous party leaders. Whether it is the Cultural Revolution or the June 4th incidents or the persecuting Falun Gong, Xi Jinping did not mention a single word about it. I think this is an extremely unwise move on his part. From Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward, the Cultural Revolution, Deng Xiaoping's June 4th Tiananmen Massacre, and Jiang Zemin's persecution of Falun Gong, the CCP has caused the death of 70 to 80 million people over the past 70 years. This is a huge crime that Xi Jinping did not cut. He inherits it all. When it comes to the final reckoning, the responsibility for those bad deeds will fall on his head. The fifth point is related to the United States and the international community. Xi Jinping will never be satisfied with being the absolute dictator on the land of China for life. He will definitely have greater actions in the future to impact the current world structure. He wants to go beyond Mao Zedong to realize his dream of a global communist utopia. This point is mentioned in the official communiqué. He said that, insisting on having the whole world in mind. When Xi Jinping says having the whole world in mind, he means global domination. But this does bring about a problem. As I said in the previous issue, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan publicly stated in a media interview that the U.S. government is no longer trying to transform China's system. I commented at that time that such a policy would be doomed to fail in dealing with the CCP. Even if the U.S. government does not want to change the Chinese political system, the CCP's goal of changing the world has never changed. Marx proposed this goal. Mao Zedong once wanted to try a small test in Southeast Asia. In order to fool the West, Deng Xiaoping no longer openly mentioned similar statements, but only stated them inside China. Now Xi Jinping feels that it's the right time to speak out, so he did it again. This is why we say that the Chinese Communist Party's desire to bring down the United States has nothing to do with whether or not the United States wants to change the Communist Party. Only one factor is that the United States is in the way of the CCP's global domination. As long as the United States does not voluntarily surrender and give ways, the CCP will do anything to bring down the United States. The 10 insistences mentioned in the communiqué seem to be very comprehensive. The important one is missing, though, the insistence on reform and opening up. This once again proved what I discussed earlier. Xi Jinping has basically denied Deng Xiaoping's core policy of focusing on economic construction, but has returned back to the line of focusing on political struggle. For the Chinese, this means that the days of the Cultural Revolution and the political dictatorship are coming back sooner or later. Another issue of concern is the Taiwan issue. In the communiqué, there is only one sentence related to Taiwan. Quote, "We uphold the One China principle. We formally oppose foreign interference. We have maintained the initiative and ability to steer cross-strait relations." The communiqué does not mention peaceful reunification, emphasizing the dominant power and the initiative. I think it means Xi Jinping himself will decide when to start a war against Taiwan. The above is the analysis of the Communist Party's self-bragging communiqué. Let's take a look at Xi Jinping's real achievements summarized by some netizens in China. What has Xi Jinping brought to China during his 9 years leadership? He brought the nightmare of the Cultural Revolution to the Chinese people. He made the media become the party's propaganda tool, and he brought internet censorship. He brought tens of millions of unemployed people. He brought tens of millions of party branches into private enterprises. He brought the closures of millions of private enterprises. He caused millions of international companies to leave China. He led the national effort to contain the coronavirus, which turned into a worldwide pandemic. He brought despair to the people of Xinjiang and Hong Kong. In his tenure, the stock market collapsed. He introduced property tax in China. He invested trillions of Chinese yuan on nearly built ghost towns. He threw $2 trillion away to the countries participating in the Belt and Road Initiative. He brought tens of millions into poverty. Tens of thousands of sensitive words are now censored by the Great Firewall of China. Millions of so-called lower-end people were evicted from Beijing overnight. Nearly 100 research centers dedicated to Xi Jinping's thought opened up. His diplomatic hostility brought a world of enemies. Over 100,000 churches were demolished in the Zhejiang province alone. Instead of worshipping the Buddha, the monks had to worship the CCP every day. He came up with the lie of common prosperity. Eventually, the things he does will lead to the collapse of the CCP. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.